Hey guys, AntVenom here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys the new features of Minecraft 1.1. Even some of the new features are starting right here on the main loading screen, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to launch into all of the new updates, or at least every one of them that I have listed off, so hopefully I don't end up missing any here in this video. So as you can see, there is a new button that shows up on the Minecraft home screen, and if you click it, as you can see, you get a whole ton of new language options. Now this is something that Jeb has been working on for the past couple of weeks with a whole bunch of different translators as well. There's even a fake language in here. Well, not really fake. I mean, you know, if you're a citizen of the internet, then you probably will find it very useful to be able to talk in pirate speak, which occurs on a really weird position on the list. It's like here, even though it's like not alphabetically correct, though. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what the difference is between English UK and English US is, other than maybe like this difference in spelling between the word defense, which I don't think occurs. I don't even know. But yeah, so definitely a ton of options. So if English is not your primary language, then I would highly recommend switching to your primary language because it'll work out awesome. Though unfortunately it doesn't do any sort of like translation type things on online servers or anything like that. As people type things out on servers, you will see them typed out the way they type it out, because Mojang wasn't about to add a translator into the chat system. So anyways, moving on here, if we go into the single player options, go to create new world, and then hit up more world options, you can see now you can choose the type of world that you want to spawn. Now default, the world spawning mechanics for 1.1 are a bit different than they were in 1.0, and I'll go over that when the time comes towards the end of the video. But if you click on the button here, you can now spawn what are called super flat maps. And essentially, super flat maps are just as they would say. They're super flat. They occur very, very low to the ground. I think they're only about 4 blocks up from bedrock or something like that. So you get a lot of like slime spawning around, and you can get mob village spawnings as well. So aside from it being super flat, you can get that. So definitely something to mess around with if that is what you want to do. But what I've already set up here is I've set up a little map just to sort of give you guys a lot of the new features of 1.1, or at least, you know, like as far as these features go. As you can see, I'm surrounded by trees and a whole bunch of little objects, so why don't I just go ahead and get into it here. Now I thought I would bring this one up first just because I've been getting this one a whole lot. Now actually, let me get rid of these items that automatically generated my inventory here as a result of creative mode. But as you can see, there's a new recipe for golden apples, and I have this stuff in my inventory here just to show you guys something here in just a second. But this is something that I have been getting told about a lot lately, and that is that the golden apple recipe is now gold nuggets surrounding a regular apple. And people are asking me if my hunt for the golden apple series is going to be over or something like that, if this tanks my series or something like that. And the very pure and simple answer to that is no. For those of you who actually follow the Hunt for the Golden Apple series, you would know that in Season 1, I crafted a golden apple, and that's the whole point of me making Season 2. So yeah, Season 2 is actually me going to be finding a golden apple within a regular not within a stronghold, but within a dungeon chest. I was getting ready to say stronghold, but within a dungeon chest is what I'm aiming to find in Season 2. So the possibility of me crafting one, like I may craft them throughout the series, but the goal is to find one within a dungeon chest, which is the original goal of the series. So yeah, just to clear up that sort of mess that's going on. But yeah, so along with that, next thing I want to show you guys is just that the brewing time for things has been reduced down to 20 seconds, which honestly is like not that big of a change. I really would have liked to see it be 10 seconds with the amount of reagents that you need to add to things. But I mean, it is a good change nonetheless, because if it shortens the time for brewing, then all the better, because I thought it was way too long to begin with, and I honestly still do believe that it is way too long. So let me add one more thing in here. Oh, the magma cream is not a secondary recipe. I thought it was for some reason, but I guess it's not. Oh well, meh. It happens. But anyway, so you guys get the idea. Between each different effect that... Oh, so I made a mundane potion. Whoops, I guess I made the wrong kind of potion. So, whatever. So anyways, moving on here. Since I'm in creative mode, one thing I'm not going to be able to point out in this video because I don't have any experience points to use, but you can now enchant bows, and if you get the fire aspect enchant on it, your arrows themselves will be enchanted. And as well, you don't actually need arrows in creative mode. Wow, I'm a sniper if I was able to hit that cow from that far out of my first try. That's awesome. But yeah, so on creative mode, you don't actually need arrows to fire your bow. So something interesting there as well. And something else I thought I should point out now, since there are sheep over here, let me go ahead and let me give myself a pair of shears here. Just since a whole ton of sheep did spawn over here. As soon as you shear these sheep, I think I need to wait for them, you know, wait a little bit on these. But if you wait a little bit, you'll notice that they're going to dip their heads to the ground and they'll start eating the grass and they'll instantly regenerate their wool. Now, it would be convenient that that one over there would end up regenerating its wool. So what I'm probably going to use next is one of the new features of 1.1. If I go into my creative menu here, you can notice at the very bottom there are a whole ton of spawning eggs, and you can now spawn any NPC that you want within Minecraft using just these eggs. And the way that they work is that you put them in your inventory here. Oh, there we go with the sheep thing. You see that? It dipped its head into the ground and then it instantly regrew its health, and then it changed the dirt that was there into grass. But you can set a whole ton of these on the ground, just as many as you want, and it'll spawn the mobs accordingly. You know, just like it would, just like you would think it would. There's no complications, no strings attached or anything like that. My only complaint is that I think that wool spawning from these things, like, it's cool and all, but I think that their wool should not regrow that fast. Like, I think it should regrow a piece at a time, like their legs, then their body, then their head, and as soon as the one in the head regrows, then you can shear them. But I think right now it's way too fast. Like, if I make a farm of sheep like I have on my pistol map, it just basically becomes infinite wool, and wool just kind of in adventure mode becomes like really something that is just not at all difficult to get. I could probably run around here infinitely just getting more and more and more wool if I wanted to. But anyways, I digress, and moving on. So I've gotten to all of that. Yeah. So the next thing I want to show you guys is, well, this one's a little bit hard to explain, but if you mess around with ladders in 1.0, you would know that the ladders themselves, as you can see, I have it highlighted here and it shows the black outline. Well, this black outline used to be like a collision box, so when you would run into the side of ladders, it would be kind of weird. But now, that kind of doesn't happen. In my opinion, it's not really too big of an update. I don't know, people apparently had a problem with this in the past, but I really never had much of a problem with it at all. I don't really see what the big difference is. You know, I get to climb ladders. And by the way, I am the Steve skin right now because the Minecraft servers are down as of me filming this. That was a scheduled maintenance, so yeah, I am the Steve skin throughout this review. Boo, we don't get to see the AntVenom skin. So anyways, moving on here. So we got that out of the way. We've got... yeah, okay. So the next thing that I wanted to show you guys is actually two new updates that came up with the fence updates. And that is, one, the collision box from this thing got removed. So now when you walk along a fence line, the fence right here gets treated like a normal size of the fence, whereas before it didn't. And fence gates now react to redstone. So you can now create awesome redstone creations. Maybe like a ladder or something would be kind of cool. Like, you know, you have a ladder that comes all the way down and then it opens up the doors for you and then closes them when you get up top or something like that. I don't know, but you know, you could make just as interesting little creations as you would with doors otherwise. So definitely something I would recommend checking out. So anyways, moving on here. Something that I find kind of weird. Whoa, this is interesting. Wow, okay, so I was reading up on the update page that these pumpkins or melons could only grow on dirt, but apparently they can grow on grass as well, because grass was growing right here, and I had actually created the gaps in between this area in order to, you know, to only have dirt, but it didn't really work out that way. So yeah, the two new updates as far as farming goes is that, one, now walking over crops does not trample them at all, and you know, these things, the pumpkins and melons, can now grow on top of grass and dirt instead of just farmland, because yeah, I don't really see the big deal as far as that goes. I think it allows for the possibility of like automatic farming machines or something like that, so you know, you can use pistons to now push those out of the way and stuff like that, you know, if you wanted to make really intricate farming devices. So definitely something that is worth checking out if you are the sort of creator like that. So anyways, oh yeah, I almost forgot to like point out the main update that I was going to point out towards the beginning. I don't think it's actually something that's going to show up since I'm on creative mode, but when you chop down trees now, there's a chance that you can get red apples from the drop. And I think like the drop rate is like 1 in 100 or something like that, so I'm not really too sure but I don't think it's going to show up on creative for me because otherwise I would be getting these leaves dropping. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But if you are on adventure mode and you go and chop down a tree, there's a chance that you can now get a small apple from it. So yeah, I've just about shown off every feature that I can show off, at least in this game mode. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to a regular 1.1 map just to give you guys an idea of everything that happens there, and as well cover anything that I may have missed along the way. So let's go ahead and let's make the switch. Okay, so now we're just in a regular 1.1 map, so I'll go ahead and go over the rest of the changes. So as you can see here, I'm in front of a swamp biome, and really the main change as far as, well, aside from the whole world generating differently, is that the transition between any regular biome and a swamp biome is now much smoother. So now it's just not like a really harsh transition, and you don't get that really bad effect happening on trees and ground as well. So yeah, definitely a really positive update, because I personally never liked having to use like my texture pack and having a bright green just absolutely merge with, you know, this really olive green sort of color. And it does work with my texture pack as well. I did test it out and it does work just fine. The only reason why I'm not using my texture pack right now is just because the main button was not on the home screen. So the main difference as far as 1.1 terrain generation goes is that the non-mountain biomes have received a bit of a buff in how many hills they can spawn. So you're going to notice that the non-mountain biomes, at least aside from swamp biomes, are going to be a little bit more hilly now. But unfortunately, the mountain biomes took a huge tank, and they really don't spawn overhangs anymore. Like, I searched around for a good half an hour or so checking out different seeds and seeds people said were interesting, and you just really can't get that great of a mountain biome anymore. Like, you still can get some random stuff like this floating block right here, but I mean, it's nothing in comparison to what, like, for example, 1.7 could spawn or 1.8 mountain biomes could spawn. Honestly, I do feel that this is more of a positive update, because when you actually do end up coming across those sorts of mountains, they're going to feel more rewarding to find them. And especially, I really like having the non-mountain biome terrain spawn things that isn't just flat land, because that was really annoying. So it's a little bit of give and take. I would really like to see mountain biomes get a little bit more of a kick into the direction of being able to spawn overhangs. But otherwise, I think that's really good. So the next thing that I'm going to show you guys, which I've conveniently just run across here, is that now biomes will spawn beaches, not 100% of the time, but a good majority of the time. So now it's just not like land going directly into the ocean. You'll get a good amount of beaches along the entire strip, which I think is a really cool update, and something that I was kind of hoping they would implement for quite a while, because it just doesn't feel right when like a beach would be fitting in an area for there not to be a beach there. Like, I can understand it not being there 100% of the time, like it was in the early alpha days, but having something there that's a beach, it just makes it feel a little bit more natural, and it's a little bit more welcoming. So yeah, moving on. One little random tidbit that I had written down and I wanted to mention is that now when you go towards the void, and I'll actually show you guys here at the end of the video if I hopefully remember, no guarantees if I'll remember or not, but the void fog, at least as far as I think just creative mode goes, the void fog is now gone. So for those of you who run creative servers or things like that, it's time to rejoice, because now you don't have to worry about that annoying void fog taking up, you know, whatever section of the map that you had created in 1.7 but got destroyed in 1.8 because of the void fog. So yeah. So I may not be near an NPC village, but something to note about NPC villages is that the chest that spawned within a blacksmith's shop will now spawn a little treasure chest inside. So if you guys want to find out what spawns in those treasure chests, be sure to look for an NPC village and check out to see what's in the chests. So yeah, I probably should go into the nether for this next one. Actually, no, why don't I just take advantage of the new cubes here? So where is the, let's see, I'm looking for the magma cube. There it is, and then I'll pull myself out a diamond sword. So now, at least for those of you who do a lot of brewing, these magma cubes, oh, they don't spawn here. I really wish that they did. That kind of sucks. But the magma cubes will now spawn magma cream. So just a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier just to go ahead and snap snag the recipe for that. The last two miscellaneous ones that I'm going to cover is that the sheep, I didn't mention before, but the sheep now only drop anywhere between 1 and 3 wool whenever you go and shear them, which I still feel is too powerful, given, you know, how fast you can get them sheared if you have a farm of them. But, you know, it did get nerfed a little bit from just a straight 3 to 1 to 3. And the Sniper Duel achievement, which is, if I go into my achievement section here, you can see that, well, I don't have any of these unlocked, but the achievement itself is to snipe and kill a skeleton from 50 yards out, or from 50 blocks out, I believe it is. So you need the prerequisite of all of these achievements, so getting wood. Why did I even do that? Benchmarking, time to strike, monster hunter, and as soon as you have those, you can now get the Sniper Duel achievement, so it's not going to be constantly broken, thankfully. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go ahead and cover in this video. If you guys want to discuss any of the updates, be sure to check the link in the description. Wait, I am really paranoid. What am I even doing right now? It's 4:44 in the morning. I shouldn't be recording this. If you guys have any comments about 1.1, be sure to talk about them in the comment section down below. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I really need to stop recording right now, so I'm glad I've gotten all this out of the way. But it didn't come without its fair share of fails. But anyways, like I said, I hope you all have enjoyed this video. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.